B-boying, usually referred to as breakdancing, is known to be a guy's sport, but more and more girls are joining the scene. Sammy is one of the 2 B-girls in Indiana who practices the dance professionally.
First time, it was terribly intimidating. It was awkward. I remember when they announced the call out, there was a lot of girls interested, and there was a lot of guys interested, and there was just a lot of new people interested in general. But when I actually went, there was nothing but guys who already knew what they were doing. And in this huge, huge, huge room, all these guys just spread out practicing their own stuff. And I walked in not only being the only girl, but being a complete newbie, like not knowing how to do anything. It was just scary for, like, to talk to them. But eventually, you know, I broke through a lot of that as I became friends with them and as they became nicer to me.
We ignored her for a reason, was to see if that she would come up to us, to approach us, and if she does, then, you know, she's interested. And then if we teach her and she continues to come back, if we're just teaching her basic things. They're not exactly exciting, but if she continues to come back, you know, that means she wants to learn. So now she's worthy of, you know, taking a special interest in, and then taking time out of our practice to teach her. Whenever I told her something and it was hard, she didn't say, that hurts, or things like she would say, oh, that kind of hurt, but she'd get back up and do it again. Or, you know, once it got to the point where, you know, it hurt too much, she'd move on to something else. She just wouldn't stop practicing.
As far as battling girls, I have, like, the utmost respect for them when it comes to that, because I know, like, you can lose to them. They're just as good as anybody else, you know. They usually just have a different style. So, yeah, I mean, as far as B-girls, yeah, I have respect for them, especially since I've lost to some, you know. It's like, you can't be closed-minded to the fact that girls aren't going to beat you, you know. Like, they can be good too. Especially when you're not good, it's putting yourself out there. So it's the most almost freeing, and at the same time, it's like, this is who I am. Like, you put yourself out in a circle, you show what you can do, what you're able to do, and at the same time, you're showing your tastes. So you're showing what you're into, and you're kind of just telling everybody who you are.
Her technique, her form, her speed, the amount of moves that she has increased, you know, it increased greatly. And she didn't even notice. She didn't realize that her progression within the year had been, you know, almost infinitesimal. And then within a year, she's already created steps that are her own, that belong to her.
It is good for me to see girl breakdancers, because when I see them, I relate more. Since it's a field dominated by guys, it helps me see that all these girls can beat every guy that I train with. Every guy that I practice with and every guy who I've met, like, in person, these girls can beat them. And it makes me feel good. And it's more encouraging to see a girl, to watch a girl online, like, to look one up, because I see guys all the time. I see guys breaking all the time. I train with guys all the time. So it's nice and it's refreshing and it's encouraging. And it usually gives me a little more desire to practice, because girls are also my competition more than guys are. Because it's not fair, but guys kind of are like, oh, well, she's good for a girl. But I want to beat every girl and beat every guy.